Shalom from Israel and from Shalanu TV. Today, we bring you Christians from all over the world a message from an Israeli Messianic Jew, an Israeli man who follows Yeshua, Jesus. So I strongly recommend you don't go anywhere for the next few minutes, because each and every Christian believer out there should hear what he has to say. So make yourself comfortable and let's get right to it. My fellow believers from all over the world, Jesus' followers, Christians, my brothers and sisters, Shalom. I wish to open this message by saying that for the time being, my identity is completely irrelevant. But I want to assure you that I am as real as it gets, and so is my following message. I believe the time has come to cut the charade and openly say what had to be said sooner or later. And since there seems to be no volunteers out there, I've decided to pick up the gauntlet and say it myself. Both Jews and Christians are making a colossal mistake. A mistake that leads billions of followers through the wide open gate and onto the path that ends in a very bad place. The Jews are named God's chosen people by God Himself and in the Bible. As an Israeli Jew, I believe I am qualified to let you in on a secret about my people, the Jewish people in Israel. But before I do that, I just want to remind you that you are in no position to judge them. So do not hold against them what I am about to say. Based on over 40 years of living among them, it is my honest opinion that Israeli Jews who identify themselves as God-fearing and Torah-observant consider their collective title, the chosen people, as a form of advantage over other religions and nations. This absurd disposition creates a two-pronged negative effect. A spiritual distance is formed between the Jews and the Gentiles, and the wall of division that separates them expands, keeping their isolation in check, and hinders the forming of the one new man, the divine and powerful union between two different people with one very similar faith. But this message isn't about the Jewish people and their ways, however relevant it may be to my topic today. This message is all about you, Christians, God-fearing men and women, Yeshua's, Jesus' followers from all the different nations. Where are you heading? What is your contribution to the one new man and the inevitable union between the Jews and the Gentiles? You cannot claim to follow the Jewish Messiah and pretend the Jewish people don't matter. Yes, I know, the Jewish people have isolated themselves. They have created the distance. They started it. But you can't blame a blind man for going astray. The Jewish people have rejected Yeshua. They look at him as a traitor, a renegade, a false Messiah, who has renounced his Jewish identity and introduced a man-made religion, Christianity, to his billions of followers. Once again, you must not hold their misconceptions against them, because their confusion and blindness are not a mistake, but rather a part of God's immaculate plan. Prophet Isaiah was instructed by God, "Go and tell this people, be ever hearing, but never understanding. Be ever seeing, but never perceiving. Make the heart of this people calloused, make their ears dull, and close their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed." So, are we supposed to conclude from reading these scriptures that God strives to keep His people away from learning the truth and from spiritual healing? Absolutely not. As the following verses show, there is an expiration date for this state of spiritual numbness. Yes, the road there might not be so pleasant, but when the Jewish people in Israel will be finally awakened and able to see with their eyes, to hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, salvation will find them. And now, for the most obvious question, one that I am sure has tickled your brains in the process of watching this video, if only for just a brief or even an unnoticeable moment. What does it all have to do with me? Why should you, a Christian, be even slightly concerned with the fact that the Jewish people rejected Yeshua, Jesus, thousands of years ago and still despise him today? Why should you even care? Well, you see, faith is a gift and it is given by grace. You don't choose to own it and you cannot earn it based on your merits. Yeshua told his disciples, "You did not choose me, but I chose you." So all of us were chosen to follow him. God has planted the seed of faith in each and every follower of Jesus. If we water and nurture the seed, it grows into a tree, and the tree will bear fruit at some point. That is the purpose of faith, to bear fruit. Without fruit, there is no meaning to faith. Yeshua did not choose his disciples to be people of faith so that one day they'll die and be buried with him. He chose and appointed them to bear fruit. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. And he even added on top of that, "This is my command, love each other." Now Christians from all over the world, my brothers and sisters, here is my question. Do you love the Jewish people? Because that should be your ultimate goal. If you love the Jewish people, you would share the fruit of your faith with them. You would take part in God's plan to plant a seed of faith in their hearts so that one day they will be able to understand. Do not ignore the fact that Yeshua was born as a Jew. Do not ignore the fact that he lived his life with them. And do not ignore the fact that he died among them. The plan of salvation is flawless, and it was designed for all people, but different nations play different roles as well as different people. Salvation came from the Jews, but when they rejected Yeshua, they lost it. Christianity has built its foundation on the teachings of the Jewish Messiah and embraced the message of salvation that Yeshua delivered. But as long as Christians keep the fruit of their faith to themselves, Christianity will head nowhere. Messianic Jews and Christians must unite for the sake of the world. The plan of salvation will never be whole before it comes back to where it was born. Christians from all over the world, it is your holy duty to plant the seeds of your faith in the land of your Messiah and Savior, so that one day, not too far away from now, Jews and Gentiles can finally stand united in Jerusalem and declare it together, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord."